We're here for Season 5 of the ICP, and this season's going to be lower tier. We actually took over a team after the draft, so we didn't get to draft it in real time, but I'm still pretty happy with the team that we got. I want to make sure I drafted the most broken thing on the board, or at least it was left on the board, so I picked up Hisuian Arcanine and decided to pair it with Sliverwing. These two create nice synergy, and also are both two of the most threatening ones on the board. To partner them, I've got some hazards with Skarmory, a good defensive core along with Hatterene, and already had Cyclizar on the draft. It was actually the only one that stayed on from the previous person that had drafted. Our two Terra Captains for this season are going to be Clawitzer and Rotom. Clawitzer with Water, Dragon and Dark, and Rotom will have Ghost, Poison and Grass. And then there was really not a lot of points left, so we decided to pick up Krokorok, Tinkertuff and Gloom for some just low tier value. And that's going to be our draft. Let me know what you think. I'm really looking forward to using it, and we'll go ahead and get straight into week 1. Okay, here we are for the battle against Mario. We see all of the threats. We do see the Bruxish, which is a pretty large threat. At least we have the Dark type to be able to potentially... I mean, it doesn't switch in. Let's be completely honest, it doesn't switch in at all. Our switch-ins to Bruxish are click and X, but it's fine. There is the Blastoise. There's a couple of things that haven't shown up that I kind of expected to. No Cobalion. I think that makes sense. It was pretty bad against my top two. Something else is missing. I can't think for the life of me what it is. Regardless, we are bringing a Gloom and a Krokorok, so we're the real winner, even if we lose this game. Oh, there's no Regieleki. Okay. I could lead off with Bark and Barry, but there is two water types, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. With that in mind, there's actually not a great deal that can deal with Clawitzer off rip, so I will go ahead and lead off with Clawitzer. And if we get knocked off turn 1, we get knocked off turn 1, but realistically we should be able to do some things and some stuff and go from there. So yeah, I'm going to lock that in, and good luck, have fun to Mario. Okay, so let's see what he leads off with. It's going to be La Mosca, which is the Flygon. Okay, I think I'm pretty fine with this, honestly. I could just click Dragon Pulse. There really isn't a switch into it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click Dragon Pulse and say fuck it. There's no way this can actually kill me. We could go for the Ice Beam, but if the Weezing comes out afterwards, I'm still not that concerned, because we have the Hydro Pump, we should be able to KO it. And there's really not a lot that wants to come in. Weakening this would be pretty good for them. So maybe they just go for like a EQ, we can check to see whether it's not as banded or something along those lines. If it's Sash and it attacks us, we have the Rocky Helmet, so it'll break the Sash unless it goes for EQ. Just going to withdraw. Okay. Do we see the Weezing? We see Tortuga, which is the Blastoise. Okay, so this should do a reasonable amount of damage. Just kidding, that is a Sylvester as a... Yep. Okay. But what can you really do? I mean, I could go out into Gloom. I'm not entirely sure what you want to do with. So I could just Dragon Pulse again, honestly. Like, if you've got to be AV. There's no way. I'm refusing to believe this is anything other than AV. So I could just Dragon Pulse again. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it again. Unless this is like Spadesh. Yeah, okay. We get a nice little bit. In fact, we're going to do much more damage than they did to us. So now they know that we're Rocky Helmet. Maybe they think that I don't go for the Dragon Pulse here. Maybe I go for something else. Who knows? But I expect the Weezing is going to come out. There's no real reason for it not to on a potential... I guess like we could be going for Flash Cannon. I don't... It should be the Weezing. It resists all of the coverage moves that we have, and we're not clicking a water move, right? So we got a nice little bit of chip on the Blastoise early on. And they are really thinking about what they want to go into here. Shalona, that's got to be the Weezing, right? That's a Sinistcha. Okay. I will gladly take the Dragon Pulse damage on this. Very respectable. It's just leftovers as well. Like, you could be Terra Fairy. You probably should be Terra Fairy, I think, against me. Like, going into Gloom would be the best case scenario if it does Terror. So I'm going to make the play into it, and if it shows Sub, then shit, I guess. But it should be like a Matcha Gotcha, maybe potentially a Carmine, but you haven't seen, like, you've seen a Rocky Helmet, you haven't seen Dark Pulse. Maybe I've got it. And I can also be like Terror Dark. So they're going to draw. Okay. So Gloom is going to be staring down in the face of this. Actually, that's fine. It's time to get leech seeding, boys. Gloom could be sat here for a little while. Do I want to leech? Actually, there's no still type. Toxic is almost entirely free. Yeah, I'll throw off a Toxic. Why not? I can't miss it. Watch me somehow do it. It's not possible, but I will somehow miss this Toxic. It's probably the Weezing that's coming in, honestly. Flip turn. It's a real shame this doesn't have a Spec Spore, honestly. That's a crit. Crit mad. Show me the Sinister. Like, you don't want to go Weezing because you can't actually touch me with Weezing. If Weezing comes out, I will literally just click Leech Seed. Gloom could sit here. Like I say, it could just sit here for a while. Maybe we see the Incineroar, but toxing the Incineroar is very, very nice for me. Here's the Weezing. No nickname. Disappointed in you, Mario. I expected better from you. So, unless you are, like, super offensive, there shouldn't be much that is of concern to me. So I will just go for a Leech Seed. T-Spikes, it's fine. Like, by all means, it's not ideal. But, honestly, I'm going to sit here for a second, and then I'm just going to go into Clawitzer on, like, Incineroar. Clawitzer getting poisoned, not ideal. But, at the same time, it is what it is. Your poison type is in and seeded. I don't think you want to stay in, so I'm just going to go for a Toxic. If you do stay in, your Fire Blast does like 30%. We're good. We're fine. So something gets Toxic here, which is delightful. The Mosca, that was what lead, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, so this gets Toxic. And I mean, I could just Leech Seed. Boom Burst. That almost did damage. Oh, it is Throat Spray. I see. Well, maybe next time you do a little bit more damage. Since this is the set that it is, do I want to switch out? The answer is probably yes. But then the question becomes, what do I want to switch out into? Does a +1 Fire Blast do that much? I do need to keep this mon around, really. Now, you're pretty Spadef naturally. I don't even have a Calc up at the moment. Let me go grab a Calc. That might help me a little. Right, what's the most... I feel like I can probably just go into Hatterene here. Because the main thing is I want to get rid of that Toxic Spike, and Gloom is the way to do that. Otherwise, Toxic Spike is going to be really annoying for my team. Something's got to take it, and it's going to be Hatterene, but we do have the Citrus. Flamethrower. With the poison... No, as I say, with the poison, maybe it puts me in range, but no. No, it doesn't. And I'm just going to Baton Pass. Do I want to Trick Room first? Maybe. Maybe I could Trick Room first, but I don't think I'm going to get the hit off, honestly. I don't think there's a way of me pivoting around this and also keeping all of my pieces, like, healthy, so I will just go for a Baton Pass. It's probably going to be a Boom Burst. Never mind, it's not going to be a Boom Burst. it's going to be Skitito. That's a little unfortunate, because it's the one thing that I can't realistically bring in my Mon on. But what I can do, actually, is go into Gloom and then pivot in, get rid of the T-Spikes, and then go out into Clawitzer, so this takes a Rocky Helmet damage. Because almost definitely there is a knockoff coming. And if anything's going to lose its item, I'd rather be Clawitzer rather than my two EVLites, because both Mons could take the hit, theoretically. But I don't really want them to. And Clawitzer does immediately put pressure on. We'll get to see whether or not this is a, like, offensive Incineroar, but we are making some nice progress thanks to Gloom. There's a knockoff. That is offensive. But this does mean that I can throw off an attack here. What do I want to go for? I'm just checking to make sure that, like, losing this doesn't make me lose to Bruxish, and it actually might do. I've got to be careful, because I do have first impression, but it's not a guarantee. At this point, do I want to just Terra, Dragon Pulse? No, I don't. Do I want to Terra? I don't think I can. I don't need to Terra on this. Aura Sphere covers most of the switches. Except for the Sinister, right? I'll just Dragon Pulse. Yeah, he's going to U-turn. I don't think the Wheezing is going to come in, but I could be wrong. No, it's going to be Blastoise. Get that nice little extra bit of chip. We're probably in range of everything at this point. But so be it. Do I want to switch out on this? This is one of the few things that's stopping Banded Arcanine from really kind of going crazy. Okay, so this might be a weird play, but I'm going to Terra Dragon. And I'm going to click Hydro Pump. Because if the flip turn comes off and I Terra Dragon, there's a better chance that I go into Wheezing. Instead of anything else, because I've Terra Dragon now, they don't want to take the Terra Dragon hit. But they may just EQ or something, and they Ice Beam, fuck, they got me. That's tough. Good read from them though, very good read. Okay. I guess they were probably predicting Gloom to come in. Makes sense. Now, I could go into Slitherwing here. Slitherwing, pivot out into Arcanine. I don't think I'm going to do enough to Blastoise to be able to reliably do that. But I'm going to check. First impression, if it's max HP, does 43 to 51. Low kick, 38 to 45. I'm just going to go into this. And do I U-turn on whatever wants to come in? If he stays in, that would be worst case scenario for me. I could Zen Headbutt on the switch into Wheezing. Because I can always Zen Headbutt into U-turn on this. U-turn doesn't knock it out from the range it's at regardless, so I'll go for that. And they may want to preserve all of their ways of potentially being fine against the Hisuian Arcanine. Oh, they're just going to stay in. Okay, can we get a flinch? Any flinches? Easy. If I get the kill with Slitherwing. Could be the 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆, and 𝙆𝙍𝙊 is a problem. Outside of that, nothing really is too much of a problem. So I think for now I will just U-turn. And if they decide to switch on this one, that would be tough. But that flinch was certainly very nice. I think that U-turn actually would have just killed from where it was. It's not max age. I don't know what set it is. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you. They're going to switch this time. We're going to see the Weezing this time. Chelona was the Sinister, right? Okay. Well, that's fine. Respectable damage on that. And now we do get to click Psychic Fangs, I think. With our banded guy. Arcanine to a Sinister. If it is max defense or near enough. Psychic Fangs actually is not a guarantee. But I think regardless, it is my play to go into it. Because you should never be able to do enough to me anyway. You could Strength Sap. I think it's in range. I could also just Head Smash, you know, and say fuck it. But I'll Psychic Fangs. If it's not defense invested, would it have taken that much from the U-turn? 26 to 31. That looks about right. The main thing is I just don't want to take a million in recoil. So they are going to draw. Okay, show me the Weezing. Don't show me the Arcanine, the fucking guy. Yeah, show me the Weezing. Alright, so this is going to be some chip. Hefty chip. And it is Rocky Helmet. Now, I feel like there's a very good chance of the Incineroar coming in, but this also covers it staying in. The biggest downside to it is that we actually probably don't outspeed the Incineroar if it's offensive. And because we outspeed here, there's a good chance that we just get the Intimidate off on the Weezing before it switches. In fact, we won't get Intimidate at all until the Weezing clicks to switch, and then it will go off when the neutralizing gas ends, which will still be on the Weezing. It's a weird interaction, but I think that's how it's going to work. But 100% they should know we're banded from that damage. There's no other way of us really achieving like 50% on a Weezing. And I don't think you want to let me have this right now, so... Because otherwise I can just lock myself into Head Smash and claim one every time. I guess I could do that now anyway, but... Yeah. Why does this work like this? There's no Pokemon in front of me. Tell me how that works. Oh sure, I get intimidated. Yeah, I see how it is. Could set up rocks here. The switch into Sinister as possible. Rocks actually look really nice for the rest of the game, so I will go ahead and just set this up if I can. If it is offensive with close combat. Not sure if it will kill me, but it will certainly hurt. We don't know whether or not this will be faster than me as well. Maybe it's like bulky. EQ EQ does nothing. Does close combat just knock me out? I think it does actually from the state of things. It might do, but regardless, they're switching. It's not an issue. Tortuga. I want to say that you die to an earthquake. EQ or whatever. Knockoff is a little bit more free against this team. And I want to say, even if I'm intimidated, surely I am able to knock out a Blastoise from this range. Krokorok, don't let me. Why is it faster than me? You fucker. Okay, well, Guess I'll try and get rocks up against something else. Crit. Big crit. It certainly didn't matter. If that was max HP, it still did 19 to 23. Okay, so Krokorok, I think, securing the first kill of the season. I don't think we've killed something so far, so that's one of the sentences of all time. Certainly not something I expected to ever say. Yet here we are. And 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆 could just absolutely destroy me. That is the 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆, yes. This will become a sack race very, very quickly. There's part of me that really wants to just stay in and call him wanting to go for the Psychic Fangs. At this point, we're almost in a position where we can just click E-Speed and start really hurting his team. How much, 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆, how much do you take? E-Speed does 59 to 70. I'm just going to click knockoff. If we lose this, we lose this. Flip turns. We live in. Shout out to Croc Rock. I'm not going to comment on Croc Rock's rack. I think that's a little bit off topic, but feel free to talk about it in the comments below. Flygon comes in. It's second knockoff. Like, there's no shot we actually live a hit from this. I'm going to check. Because if I can set up my rocks, I most definitely will do so. Flygon. Shockingly, there is no timid set. We've seen Boom Burst. I'm assuming there's going to be like a Draco. Maybe a Draco Meteor. I can already tell you that I'm not doing the thing here, so I would just go back out into Hatterene. I might be able to get my rocks up another time, and in case that he decides this is going to be like Throat Spray rocks and try and get his rocks up now, then yeah, I'll go for it. But Croc Rock has put in the finest so far. Shout out to Croc Rock. Even if we lose this game, Croc Rock has done work. Get absolutely fucked, son. That could not have gone any better, honestly. I'm not gonna say that I absolutely called the the rock set, but the fact that he led with it meant that there was a chance. Now, I can just Trick Room and start clicking some buttons. And that's exactly what I'm gonna fucking do. Because Hatterene should be able to click a button at the very least. There's a Boom Burst. Does a respectable amount. And I want to say we should be able to claim one. I think 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆 may come in, and 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆 may have Aqua Jet. There's a good chance. But if that's the case, we just go Slitherwing. Gatito, that's the Incineroar. Don't have a great deal at this point to switch into it. Unfortunately, I decided not to bring anything for this. So I could just Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire for damage. Put it in range of like a Slitherwing first impression. Yeah, I think I can do that. A little bit unfortunate that I didn't bring anything for this. Is this also Assault Vest, considering it was taking the rocks? It could be. Big damage. Game-changing special attack drop as well. Okay, well, I can go into... I'm going to Croc Rock. And get the Intimidate. We're probably faster on this, which is the unfortunate thing. So if I had not Trick Roomed, I may have been in a better position. Who can really say? But regardless, I will just EQ. Maybe he thinks that I'm really slow because I'm running Trick Room and I've gone out into it. But I think his play might be just to go ahead and, you know, kill me here anyway. But at least he'll take some potential chip or lower his defenses. Or neither of the above and he just U-turns out. But regardless, something will happen on this turn, I can guarantee you that. He is going to withdraw. Okay, maybe I should have gone for the knockoff, but the EQ switch-ins are diminishing. That's the wheezing. Krokorok for second KO. I just heard Ellie say, "Come on, wheezing." Fucking traitor. Okay, let's go Krokorok. 2 kills. What a time to be alive. Honestly, I was mocked for having a Krokorok to begin with, but then for also bringing it to this game. But it is put in the finest. Ellie said, "Why is your ground type a Krokorok?" Don't lie. Okay, so Chalona comes back out. This will take rocks. Do I think that you're faster than me? I think regardless my play is just to click taunt. Because even if you strength sap, you can't really do anything afterwards. And if we just happen to underspeed, then at least we can, you know, we can taunt it. Looking at some calcs, by the way, and Gloom might be able to live a Psychic Fangs, depending on whether or not it's Terra Psychic on Bruxish. And there is certainly a chance that the game will come down to whether or not that is actually, like, whether or not Gloom can live that hit. Because I don't believe that that was choice banded, just from the amount of damage it did to my Croc Rock here. They are going to Terra. Okay. I expect Terra Fairy. Yeah. So that actually means that my Gloom can somewhat deal with it. We do underspeed it, which is lovely. Don't go for a match gotcha? Tough. Okay. But it does mean that Gloom can now come in and click Sludge Bomb. And I believe that that's really free. Because the only things that are alive now are the Incineroar that's going to take rocks, this is Terra Fairy'd, and the Bruxish, which won't really appreciate it all that much. So, Gloom, it is your time. I think that's the last turn of Trick Room. It might not be. And if that's the case, Sludge Bomb about to come in and potentially claim one. I haven't been paying any attention to Trick Room turns. Maybe it ended on the turn before Krokorok taunted. There's a good chance. I just straight up haven't been paying attention to that. I want to say that actually it probably did, and Krokorok just outsped this. But regardless, Sludge Bomb should be able to do something here. I don't know necessarily what that something's going to be. But we're now in a position where Bandit E-Speed might be able to finish off the game. Let's go Gloom. NFE's going absolutely fucking crazy, by the way. Actually going nuts. So, the roll on Gloom from Bruxish. There's the Twisted Dimensions. Okay. I should have known that because I just fucking outsped a Sinistcha with a Gloom. Okay. Milmascaras comes out. I respect the nickname, by the way. Big fan. And I think the play 263. Hang on, let me just quickly check. 263 is 82%. I have a very, very, very low chance of actually being able to live that hit. But regardless, that's just dazzling, isn't it? So I think this is Dazzling Choice Scarf. So I need it to be locked into a move. This could be a throw. But I think at this point you have to lock into Psychic Fangs. I think it's a throw regardless, actually. That was a really stupid play. Yeah, because I lived that hit, but nothing else on my team does. So I just threw this game. Good job, me. Maybe... Actually, hang on. Are you Dazzling or are you Strongjaw? That did so much damage. I mean, I can check, right? I can check here. You're not Dazzling. So that does so much damage. Okay. And now I think we're in a position where our Sliverwing should be able to come in, click First Impression, and see out this game. Maybe I should have just stayed in. Initially with... maybe I should have just stayed in. If you have Protect, then it's a problem. Okay. So this is fine. Gatito comes in. Gets the Intimidate. We are going to pick up the KO. But then we're going to go out into Gloom. Going to preserve this to be able to click First Impression. We have no reason not to. I swear if Gloom lives this hit, it's going to be fucking hilarious. But this should be a 1-0 win. Barring any insanity. So this has been an absolutely crazy game. GG to Mario, like regardless of whether or not this ends up being a win or a loss. Yeah, I was going to say, the role for me to live that was not in my favour. So, didn't think Gloom was going to be able to. So yeah, we'll go into Sliver. We just click First Impression. And that should be the game. Yes. GG to Mario. 1-0 win start of the season. Very, very tight game, but this matchup was going to always be really, really tough. 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙆𝙆 is an absolute demon. I was very scared of it in prep. Just hoped that it didn't turn up, honestly. But yeah, make sure to go check out Mario. Links will be down in the description below, as well as the coaches for the I would say PPL. This is not the PPL. Just quick FYI, this is ICP. Like you enjoyed the battle, subscribe, and until next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.